Charlie Kirk unloads on a radical college student who seemingly defends violence and terrorism of the far left. Yes, guys, it's that insane. These people are this unhinged, even when they seem reasonable. It's just bonkers. So this is going to be a good one, and you're going to enjoy it. And we're going to get right to the video, guys, because who doesn't love to see Charlie Kirk stomp a liberal into the pavement? Figuratively, of course, all right? We condemn all violence here at RTM, all right? With that being said, guys, we're going to get right into the video. But first, everybody, please make sure you like our clip. If you are new, yes, subscribe to it. We really appreciate that. And for those of you who are coming back, we appreciate you as well. And share it around, guys. Help us promote Resist the Mainstream. As always, I'm your host, Arian. Let's get into the video.
Hi. So as someone who claims to be such a bastion of freedom of speech, why do you call the protesters outside terrorists, outside of, say, one broken window?
Well, it's more than one broken window. Assaulting cops, spray painting, the death threats that they throw at me, the violent intimidation, the graffiti.
But that's not, don't you think it's bigoted to call all protesters who are outside as terrorists when a handful of minority might be representing some
Wait, why would it be bigoted? They're mostly white liberals without jobs.
Sorry?
Why is it bigoted? They're mostly white liberals without jobs.
But you're calling all protesters terrorists?
I'm calling Antifa out there that are anonymizing their identity, sending death threats to my family, smashing windows, and spray painting the campus the entire week leading up to this terrorist. Yes, I absolutely stand by that.
But so
This guy is such a clown. He reminds me of CNN when they were saying fiery but mostly peaceful protests during the Summer of Love of BLM. By the way, the most expensive riots in American history. And while they're reporting this garbage, there was literally a blazing giant fire right behind the reporter. You can't make this up, guys. It's, I mean, sometimes you think it's a TV show. It's so absurd.
So that wouldn't, a lot of them are just college students who don't agree with the point of view that you're propagating.
Well, maybe they should have come to the front of the line and asked a question like you and not acted like somebody in a third world country where they settle their differences with gang violence.
But just to be sure, those people who are there to register their protest aren't terrorists.
Okay, the terrorist definition is a person who uses unlawful violence and intimidation, especially against civilians, in the pursuit of political aims. Did they do that?
I don't think so.
Wait, hold on. A person who unlawfully violent, window smashing, graffiti, assault against police officers.
Not all of them.
Hold on a second. The leaders, they cover for themselves. And by the way, only a small of them are isolated, and they're all in one big black block. And don't try to, don't try to gaslight the people here or the people watching online. There's hundreds of them. They're working in a coordinated network with coordinated tactics. And these are not just quote unquote college kids.
It is just incredible that people still refuse to condemn terrorist organizations. You know who else refuses to condemn terrorism? Joe Biden. Have you seen him condemn the Black Lives Matter riots or Antifa? Or who remembers Antifa as an idea? Aside from that, Biden refuses to fix our economy. It's a total joke, guys. This inflation is out of control, and I've had enough. And that is why I have decided to partner with GoldCo. Why do this, you may ask? Simple, guys. As the value of the dollar has dropped over time, the value of gold has increased. In other words, gold is, in many people's view, a fantastic hedge against inflation. So I really recommend you check it out, guys. Go to rtmgold.com. You can click on the link in the description or type in our web browser. GoldCo will give you the white glove treatment, guys. They have top-notch customer service. They're very highly rated. They will take care of you. All right, guys? So go to rtmgold.com. You can get your free gold kit. They can help you show you the ropes because we understand it's a big decision to make. Not only that, you can roll over your IRA and 401k penalty and tax-free, guys. All right? So check it out. Go to rtmgold.com, click the link in the description, or go to our web browser.
There's obviously somebody behind this with funding and sophistication, with quasi-paramilitary tactics. And let me ask you a question. Why is it that when people go into the United States Capitol and take a selfie, they're called terrorists by our government, but when you start to terrorize and smash windows and put violent threats and death threats to me, it's somehow bigoted to call them terrorists?
So first of all, it wasn't a coordinated effort. As someone who was there, I just knew that there was this event happening and that there would be a protest in order to register our point of view. I was not part of any coordinated effort, and neither were a lot of the other people who were there. We don't appreciate the label of being terrorists, especially A lot of us
Well,
are
how about
from
this?
countries where
You shouldn't
terrorism is very
appreciate
common spread,
the
so-
label or the activity. Why don't you come here and say, you know, I'm pretty damn embarrassed that people that agree with me resort to violence instead of going up here and
Absolutely.
trying to lecture me about calling them terrorists.
Absolutely.
And of course, this guy is nowhere to be found on the whole January 6th question. Yet tons of people who are pretty much innocent being thrown in jail, being called terrorists when they did absolutely nothing beyond walk into the building in many cases. All right, but of course you're not hearing him say anything on that. You know, it's all about the mostly peaceful protests of BLM. Oh, you can't call that terrorists. 99.9% of the time they're peaceful. You know, it's just they protest a bit, they're peaceful for 6 hours, then they kill someone on the 7th. So, you know, hey, majority of the time they're peaceful. It's no biggie, guys. Come on.
But this isn't about...
You're making a fool of yourself. Why don't you go out and talk to your buddies and tell them to stop trying to shut down our event?
So I don't know why your response is always a whataboutism. I mean, I'm just asking
It's not.
if you
I'm
take
asking
back that
questions
they're not
you can't
terrorists.
answer-ism.
What? I've answered each of your questions. I'm just saying
No,
that
let me ask you a
not
question.
everyone is
Will-
part
let
of
me
a
ask you a question.
coordinated
Will you publicly condemn the violence done in the political spirit outside by the people that you were protesting alongside? Will you do that right now?
It depends what you're referring to.
Smashing of windows and
I don't
assaulting
think
police officers.
Breaking windows is a good idea.
Assaulting police officers. Do you
No
condemn
one
that?
assaulted police officers.
You
I
what?
was there. No one assaulted police
That's
officers.
lie.
I
That's
was
not
there.
true. Throwing eggs and objects at police officers is a legal definition of assault, no matter how much you try to gaslight
So
it or
just-
spin it.
That reminds me of when left-wingers were throwing milkshakes at people, and then this actually happened. It was disgusting. A bunch of left-wingers went online and said, it's just a milkshake to the face. It's not assault. Let's not exaggerate here. I'm not kidding. That's the level of gaslighting they'll engage in. Someone would throw a milkshake at someone in the face, and who knows if there's toxins or poison inside that milkshake. Obviously, you don't know when that happens. And left-wingers would say that these crazy conservatives were lying and saying it was assault when it was just some liquid. Okay, yeah, because throwing a bunch of liquid in someone's face is not assault now, according to the left. Meanwhile, they claim it's a microaggression, that you're literally committing violence because, you know, you call a man or a woman, for instance. That's physical assault, even though there's no physical violence being done. Make it make sense, guys. I just don't understand.
If I can just, without resorting to whataboutism, using your definition of terrorism, if the police uses unjust violence against civilians, should that also count as terrorism?
Absolutely not. But first of all, your definition of unjust.
I'm just taking your definition of
No.
terrorism.
Let me read this again. Unlawful violence and intimidation, especially against civilians in the pursuit of political aims. Antifa doesn't just do this here. They did this in Sacramento and assaulted one of our Turning Point USA employees
I'm not Antifa.
and sent one of them to the hospital. Antifa, oh, by the way, the same buddies, the same tactics, the same coordination, the same wardrobe, the same language, the same signs. You know what they did 2 weeks ago? They arson and firebombed an entire police training headquarters in Georgia in massive coordinated fashion. And so right now what we are seeing is the rise of left-wing domestic violent extremism, and the failure to acknowledge or admit it means that you are blinded by ideology. Thank you for being here tonight. We'll get to the next one.
I like how at the end the guy goes, but, and then Charlie's like, nope, sorry, you're over, bud. You're donezo. Well, guys, we really hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for tuning in. As always, comment below. Let us know what you liked, what you want to see next, and we'll see you guys again soon. Thanks so much, and God bless.